Now we want to find an example where u1 times u2 is not concave. So if we just consider the most primitive kind of concave function that I can invent, then let's consider, well, that wasn't those lines weren't very straight. Let me try again. Oh, this isn't easy. It's a straight line, one straight line, like this. Then let's consider the function. Let this be u1 of y equal y. So this is just the identity function here. This is a concave, albeit not strictly concave function. Well, what we want in order for this to be not concave is for it to, when we multiply u2 on it, is for it to not become a sad smiley. Well, we can consider a happy smiley instead. So we can try to think about what we can do if we want these two ends of the graph of u1 to kind of curve upwards in some way, if we wanted to do this. Well, one way to do it is to multiply this part with a negative large number and to multiply this part with a positive large number. So I want to multiply this with something that is negative, because something that is negative times something that is negative becomes positive, so then it will come up here. And we want this to be multiplied with a positive number. And considering that we kind of wanted to curve upwards, then it's probably good if the bigger the y, the more positive the number we multiply with is, and the smaller or the more negative the y, the more negative we want to multiply the number with down here. So let's just consider what would happen if we chose u1 of y to be given by y, and also chose u2 of y equals y, because that's exactly what would happen if we took and multiplied u1 with u2, if we chose u2 to be given by this over here, because then you would have a negative number multiplied by a negative number, and well, could just show you that well, u1 times u2 of y equals y squared, right? And we know that this is quite obviously not a concave function. So finding an example where u1 times u2 is not concave was not very hard. We can just consider u1 equals u2 equals y, and this tells us that the product of concave functions is not necessarily concave. Functions is not necessarily concave. Good.